afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this wonderful evening of Bhakti Yoga, Prayerful Living. Despite the tube strikes, I'm happy that you people made it off, and I can guarantee you it's going to be worthwhile. Before I go ahead, I would like to make some health and safety announcements. So, the fire exit is on your right-hand side door for the main audience and for the balcony. The gents in the disabled toilets are on the ground floor and ladies are on the first floor. Sorry for that. And last but not the least, I request you to put your mobile phone on silent for the next 1.5 hours. Actually, we are 15 minutes late, but still, I think we'll make it by time. In the West, we tend to have a demanding lifestyle. We're always in a rush to meet deadlines, family commitments, and the list is endless. Life has become like a moving target. And before we finish one target, we have got another one lined up straight away. But hang on. The demanding life is taking something away from us. Something what really matters. The association with the God, the Creator. However, our limitations in life makes it difficult to have the divine connection with the God, such as we might have the time, but no energy, or vice versa. And here I may take a liberty, as a youngster, what I can come across among my peer group, you might be people be, it's like not youngster, but yes, people of all group, I would say, that there is no need actually to relate to the God, because people say, okay, we are doing good deeds, and that's more than enough actually. And in this demanding life, we can leave it for the retirement age. Time and again, it poses an unanswered question to my mind. Why there is a need for the God, when I'm doing everything right? So we have Paramatmananda Swami, Paramatmananda, Saraswati ji, to answer those questions today and tomorrow. That why and how it is important to relate to the God. Paramatmananda Swami ji has travelled all the way from Rajkot, Gujarat to give his wisdom to us. He is a senior disciple of Swami Dayanand Saraswati ji. Swami ji is also a founder Acharya of Arsha Vidya Mandir. His teachings have been widely spread from students to government officials within India and abroad. He is also the Secretary General and the coordinator of Hindu Dharam Acharya Sabha, which represents 147 sampradayas, globally with over 200 years of Hindu teachings under one umbrella. He has also pioneered in successfully saving the Ram Setu project, along with Dr. Subramanian Swami in the year 2007. More recently, he is responsible for creating the concept of World Yoga Day, which I think you people have heard about it. It's just globally recognized by Mr. Modi. And Swami ji was the main inspiration behind it with other acharyas. Rather than making you wait, let me hand over to Swami ji to begin a talk on the Bhakti Yoga.
Om Bhadram Karneभिः शृणुयाम देवाः Bhadram Pashyemakshabhiryajatraः Sthirairangai Stushtuvaagumsastanuभिः Vyashemadevahitam yadayuhu Swasti na Indro Vriddhashavaः Swasti na Purusha Vishwavedaः Swasti nastarksho arishtanemihi Swasti no Brihaspati'r dadhatu Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sambradaya Kartrubhyo Vanshar Shibhyo महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः सर्वोपप्लवरहितः प्रज्ञानघनः प्रत्यगर्थो ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ॐ blessed Yatindraji Bharadwaj and his team who has organized these talks, and Shridimant who has been instrumental in this, and blessed devotees. One can pray but need not be a prayerful person. At a given time, at a given place, in a given situation, one can pray. But to have a prayerful living, it calls for cognitive change in ourselves, and it calls for certain degree of attitudinal change in our life. One can pray, not necessarily that person lives a prayerful life. It's not necessary. And the one who lives a prayerful life need not pray also. In a conventional terms of praying, he or she need not pray. In fact, quite often I find people praying for the rest of the time they are cursing the Lord. The word devotion, as it called in all our languages, bhakti, has been beautifully defined by Naradji, a great bhakta. Like Vedavyasa, who wrote Brahma Sutras, Jaimini, who wrote Dharma Sutras. There are Bhakti Sutras by Naradji. In the very first sutra he says, in the beginning itself, what is Bhakti? Bhakti means Satvasmin Paramaprema Swarupa. Total Param means unconditioned by time, space, situation, love for the Lord. I quite often find people, after praying, rather than the love, I'm sorry to use the word, there is a subtle hatred also. There is a complaint all the time. Why me of all the person? I think Lord has committed some mistake. He has gone wrong, at least for sure, in my life. To live a prayerful life is altogether different thing. Prayerful living means to live in the awareness of Ishvara. To live in the awareness of the Creator and the very creation itself. which happens to be non-separate from the Creator. To live in the awareness of the grace that I have been enjoying in my moment-to-moment existence. Sometimes, praying person fails to see an iota of grace in his or her life. This is all because not understanding what bhakti is. Like if I say rose, there is a common understanding. This such and such an object is rose. If I say wristwatch, there is some common understanding all over the world. The design, the shape, and etc. may differ. We understand commonly. If I say car, we understand commonly. If I say dog, there are so many breeds, but there is some common understanding. If I say human being, again there is common understanding. But if I say God, I would say it is the most abused word. Each one of us carries a subjective concept about God. Each one has a different thing, different idea about what the God is. And there are groups also, religion talking about, saying my God is the only God. And all of them, the irony is, all of them say we believe in one God. Yeah. But one God is my God, not your God. That's a problem. I go to all those international conferences, every religious leader comes and we are religion of peace and blah blah blah, all pep talk, and then we believe in one God and everybody blah blah blah. But which God is one God? My God is the only God. And then they say, my God is the only God, your God is not God. If it is one God, where is your God? My question to them. You will be shocked to know. Really, it's a painful fact for humanity. In these millennium years, the United States had organized Millennium Peace Summit. UN. They had invited all the religious leaders from various religious traditions, including indigenous traditions. It was a big jumbo. I mean, so many religious leaders were there. Looking for peace in the world. In fact, the very objective of United Nations was to find peace. It was established after Second World War so that the peace can be maintained. And they thought, I guess they must have thought this, but they didn't tell me how they thought. But I guess they must have thought, let us involve religious leaders for the world peace. And before the summit, they asked the Harvard University with one point question to do the research. Harvard was given only one objective to find out. What they were asked to find out, what were the causes of the wars that took place in the world during the last century? From 1901 to 2000, what were the causes all over the world? By the way, today, every moment somewhere the war is going on. It is like earthquake. You may not know it, but there are certain websites, you click it, they update every hour. Some earthquake is always there. Under garbage is going on. Mother Earth seems to have some gastric trouble like this. Needs some medicine and fields are going on. Like that, the wars are going on. And the shocking outcome of the research was All the religion people, most of them said we are the religion of peace. Harvard came out with a research paper, properly documented, saying that in the last millennia, of all the wars that were fought over the globe, 75% were caused by religion. All because of not understanding God. Therefore I said it's the most abusable. When I went to G8 Religious Summit, I told, but nobody was ready to listen. And nobody looked at Harvard paper also. Except Swami Dayanand, nobody mentioned it. They kept it aside. I say we have to be responsible. We have to be honest amongst ourselves and thrash out the so-called differences. We have to respect each other, belief system, whatever it is, and avoid the world from this strife. Have the humanity, but nobody is interested in this. Just because of one thing, absolute abuse of the word God. It is not only to believers. Please understand. Each one has his or her own concept of God. Even if he or she believes in a group, one particular group, they have. Even atheist also has a concept of God. In fact, he or she is atheist only because of his or her own concept of God. You ask him, hey, you believe in God? I don't believe in God. He says, why? There is God. And then you say, no, there is no God. If there is God, why should I suffer? That is his problem. That is his concept. If there is God, I should not be put to difficulties. Full stop. If there is God, these things should not happen. And that happens, therefore there is no God. It is uttam. Atheist also has some concept of God. It is so subjective. It may appear that each one is worshipping the same form of a God in a given group. But there are like different shades of color. There are shades of belief in the same God also. To live prayerfully. I repeat, as I said, I need to live in the awareness of the God. And, pardon me for saying this, a person who lives a prayerful life alone can sit and pray. Most of us know this fact. We may not concede it publicly. When we sit and you start with some typical Hindu, will start Sri Krishna Saranam Mama, Sri Krishna Saranam Mama, Sri Krishna Saranam Mama. Krishnakant was not seen yesterday in Patitar Bhavan. He goes to temple every time and then he was not seen there. His Swami was good and it was on bhakti, but how come Krishnakant did not come? I think his wife must have prevented him from coming. She is a useless lady. He is stuck with the wrong person. But his children are also bad. Krishna Saranam. It goes on. What happened to his son? I think he has become addicted to drugs. My God. His daughter is also lost. Suddenly that big one comes. Sri Krishna Saranam, oh God. This comes inside. If I use this word, a person lives a worldly life. That only comes in prayers. If you are living prayerfully, there will be prayers when you sit down and pray. No doubt. by saying so, I am not saying that you don't sit. At least do something, okay? In Gujarati they say, Na mama karta kano mama haro. Something is better than nothing, so you better do that. It has its own usefulness, which we shall see. I'll unfold it tomorrow. But please understand, we have to live prayerful. And to live prayerful, we need to understand what exactly God means. Many theologies talk about God. And whenever I go to these international so-called interfaith conferences, I am heard. Well, the address is by the chair or the inauguration person, dignitaries, leaders from various faiths. Religious leaders from various faiths. With all understanding I am telling, I am not talking emotionally. I am proud to tell this, I don't belong to faith tradition. We belong to a tradition where God needs to be understood, not simply believed in. We have a teaching tradition. Since it's a teaching tradition, every teacher, even a maths teacher or a science teacher or language teacher, can confidently tell the child. When the child opens the book, baby doesn't understand what it is. The teacher can say, yes, I can make you see 10 plus 10 is 20. Suppose it's too much for a baby. We're teaching. When teaching is involved, teacher has a confidence to tell to student, what I see, I can make you see. That a Hindu teacher can say. I am proud to say this. And the famous example I can quote here, it is not only that happened, but anyone can say. You know the story of Vivekananda and Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. He asked him, have you seen God? He didn't ask, do you believe in God? And Ramakrishna had that confidence to say, not only I have seen, but I can make you see also. Any teacher can tell that. He is something to be understood, not to be placed somewhere up above the sky. Put him somewhere, and you are free to do what all Gajrala you want to do. Here, that's not our concern. Please understand, what is it Vedas mean by the word God? In fact, God word is also not proper. I would say Ishvara. That's the right word. In every language there are limitations because when the concept is not there, there is no proper word. Like in any Indian language, there is no word for mobile. You don't know. Because there is concept was missing. Similarly, the Ishvara, what is revealed in Vedas, needs to be understood. And rightly, Gauri is saying, is there a God or not is a big question. And is there a need of God in my day-to-day life? Why should I live in the awareness of God? And back home in India, this is said about here, that is more prevalent there. That you should be in the awareness of the God, or you should connect to God not now, when you are retired. 35 years ago when I decided to walk out, I had my some job and little business and all that. And I declared that I am going after a month to here. I still remember the phone calls used to come. We have heard that you are going to ashram. That's how a typical Indian will say, we have heard. I would say, yes,